Hi, hello, and welcome to Oracle Counselorship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Pieces of Lucy. I'll be your Oracle today. And I was laughed at by the goddess and told to come and deliver a message. It's my day off. I wouldn't say it that way, but I'm taking the day for rest. So I'm disoriented. Normally I wake up and go for a run. It didn't happen. Today I woke up a bit late, which is fine. It's a rest day. And I'm being told to come to the channel and connect with some people, maybe go have brunch or breakfast or something. And I called a girlfriend, a friend girl, and we're gonna connect in an hour. I got something in the oven. It'll be ready in 45 minutes. So it's on like a low degree. I don't like warm food. I like my food to be not frozen, but not warm either. So unless it's bloody or soup, I don't want it to be hot. Anyways, long story short, I got something in the oven. I'm gonna meet with a girlfriend for brunch. I didn't go for my morning run. The goddess slapped me across the face and said, come do this. And it's my rest day, which means I don't wake up and pray. I don't do all those things. So why don't we do some libations? I call upon the great spirits. I hereby request by the angel to bring down the heavenly spirit upon us and purify and sanctify this sacred space and sacred circle so that we may receive and deliver divine messages, channeled messages for the collective. I thank you, I honor you, I praise you, Honoponopono, great spirit, I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I praise you and your grace. I praise thee and thy grace. I invoke my sovereignty, my serenity, my dignity, my humility and grace. Ago Mausek Polisa, Ago Mausek Polisa, Vodoun Dan Mamichamba, Hello Dulu Dan Mamichamba, Ago Vodoun Dan Mamichamba, Ago Mausek Polisa, Egun, Havioso, Togbe Legba, Ago Togbe Legba. Hello, Landu. Ago Togbeade. Hello, Landu. Togbeade. So we just pour some libations. When I say I don't pray, everything and every day is a prayer. For those living and dripping in divinity, that statement's not as true. But invoking your spirits is something very good to do, especially because of protection and whatnot. I'm called to use the Epic Tarot. The light's not good right now because I didn't turn the light on. It's daytime. So normally I hold up the cards and stuff, but I really gotta take it easy, be kind to myself, good to myself. Although there's a unicorn here, I do want to show that. That's the Knight of Pentacles. I always say the Knight in my head, and I don't know how to translate that. I don't want to say the Knight of Money, the Prince of Money. I don't want to say that. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. Thank you, Great Spirit, for this sacred message, for this divine messages, channel for the collective. I honor you, I praise you, I thank you for this divine gift and divine moment to share anything that needs to be shared. So we have the Three of Pentacles. I'm going to do a looking glass spread. Clarifying the Three of Pentacles, we have Ace of Cups, the Lovers, and this is a lovely, I don't want to get up and turn the light on, but I'm wishing I did because these cards, I'm going to be kind to myself today. What you can see, you can see. What you cannot see, you cannot see. I apologize. I'm aware that the light is bad. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh. I really love the Wheel of Fortune card here. I'm very fond of the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower card. A lot of people are scared of the Tower, the Death card, or the Devil. See, when the Devil comes up, that's the only card in the deck that I don't particularly like because it gives everything a reversed meaning. The smoothie we're drinking today is, it's the normal pink smoothie. It varies. The pink smoothie is supposed to be pink. So it's pink today, not shit brown or whatever. Now the base of the smoothie is, I put 3 to 4 ingredients. So the 3 to 4 ingredients is usually, I love peaches. I love me some peaches. You hear me? I love me peaches. But it's tropical fruit plus either cranberry juice or cherries. I use Black Forest cherries because I am a cherry fanatic. Anything cherry flavored, I'm in love with already. So today it's bananas, it's peaches, it's mango, a little bit of coconut. There's also coconut milk, coconut oil, coconut aminos. Okay. So like I said, tropical. And then I do have Black Forest cherries and cranberry juice extract. I'm not a big berry fan. Anything with the word berry in it, I'm already done. Just get away from me. However, when I'm sick or need medicine, I do like elderberries and huckleberry. Okay, and I do make a lot of berry things. I just don't consume berries. I don't know why. My spirits love berries. So if my spirits eat a lot of it, unless it's coconut, I tend to leave it for them. Okay. So today, no tea, it's a pink smoothie. Oh, and then protein powder and diatomaceous earth. That's why it's so few ingredients, because it's mostly protein powder. And the protein powder is a coconut vanilla chai protein powder. Again, another reason why I don't use berries is because I use chai seasoning in everything that I do. And if I could have a cardamom field and grow cardamom crops, I would, because I love me some cardamom. So since there's clove and cinnamon and cardamom and allspice and nearly everything that I'm consuming, I leave berries away because that makes it kind of gross. Okay, so we have the 3 of, well, we're gonna do the blind spot spread. No, the looking glass, which is an adaptation of the blind spot spread. So 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. This came out in reverse. The Hermit, la ermitaña. 7 of Cups. King of Swords, 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords. So we have 2 4s and 2 9s. 2 4s can talk about a new foundation, also coming together, like a commitment, even an engagement or moving in together. 2 9s can talk about isolation, forced isolation, needing to be alone, needing to separate something or someone. It could be something as simple as not going back to a place of business. That happened to me recently. I did not like the business practices and they thought I was dumb, deaf, blind, and stupid. So they ain't never getting my money again. That kind of thing. I'm never going back there. But it could be just temporarily not going back there. So if I find out that the person doesn't work there anymore, I may go back. Now I'm likely to send an email that'll destroy your life. So I could just email the owner. I don't know them personally, but we're in a group together. This is the cannabis business. I'll just share my business. I'm a cannabis professional. I'm in the cannabis business. So I can send an email. And then if that person were fired or let go or transition moved on, I may go back. But when there's 3 or 4 9s, typically that's like a forced long-term exile or isolation. 2 9s could talk about, no, I'm not a wood dealer, I'm into paraphernalia and artisan. I have a line of joints and blunts that I mix herbs into them, mainly roses and lavender, and I make them spiritual, like a legba joint or a sakpata joint. Anyways, long story short, 2 9s is about a forced isolation, and they're not together. So this is a process of needing to withdraw and then come back at another time when there's a completion of something. The 2 4s came out right together. So it's some type of concentrated deliberation over some type of foundation. Let's begin. I'm gonna do this for the next unboxing, but I've been using the guidebook because it's amazing. So let's see what spirit animal is here. The box is still closed, so until I do the unboxing, I won't get a chance to use it. So I'll have to use the guidebook, do some libromancy, bibliomancy. Wolf. Yeah, because we have a lot of animals in these cards: a dragon, a giant, a griffin, a phoenix, a squirrel, a muse. I'm hearing the Mui, Lady of the Lake. We have portals here. There's too much going on to know. So wolf we got. Guardian of family and tribe, activism, ritual when in balance. It's reliable, democratic, fearless, out of balance, imbalanced. It's judgmental, dominating. To bring balance into life, practice let it go. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies, normally, not always, okay? The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their own parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following. Embrace all, exclude none. Yeah, girl, I'm really right there right now. I don't even know how to process that. Let me think for a moment because, oh, that burned. Oh, that hurt. Oh my goodness. So the wolf came up today. I really love this deck. I'm excited to do the unboxing because then I could use the deck. Okay. All right, so on the throne here we have initially La Ruota, which is the Wheel of Fortune. We have La Ermitaña, the Hermit. We have Diamante, which is the Lovers. We have Due Quadre and Due Nove. So we have 2 9s and 2 4s. Okay, that ace is significant because the Wheel of Fortune is out, and any 7 is significant when there's a king or a page. So we have 1 king, and we don't have the corresponding minor arcana, but since it's a 7 of cups and that king there, this 9 is significant. This 9 of Athanates, this 9 of swords, and they are in alignment. What this is saying here is confusion. Okay, I just heard F, the spirit of confusion. Yeah, that, Oh, Richie. Yeah, so we have the Hermit, the Lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune. You know, the collective is finding proper judgment because we've been under some type of cruelty. We've been a victim, a sacrifice of whatever mechanisms of society there are. We haven't been, you know, it's the ugly duckling grow up to be a swan. To me, that's when I see the correspondence to the king. You know, after all this time, here I am, what it is. That glare is agitating me. After all that time, here it is, what it is. It seems like we've progressed into this wise creature because there's been a lot of languish, lamenting, you know, anguish, agitation, anxiety, torment, tribulation. Well, if your trial becomes a tribulation, if your test becomes a testimony, then your mess, however messy you were at one point in time, becomes a message. You know, and it would talk about a long period of time. You know, we now know what's a viable offer. Could we keep giving to offers, opportunities that aren't in alignment? You know, what I'm sensing here is in and of ourselves, we're working on our foundation. We're working on money, some of us, our purse, others of us. Our purse is the same thing as money, but it's the state of having money versus making money. And some of us are expanding attachments, and in order to expand certain attachments, we need to understand each attachment, take an inventory. 2 9s or any 9 with the corresponding king, we have it here, is taking inventory. With this Wheel of Fortune, it will be going past, present, future, taking inventory. Funnily enough, Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune's been key for me this past week. Although I will say, it's very common for me to shuffle the Wheel of Fortune into the deck. Jupiter energy loves me. I'm ruled by Jupiter. I have a very strong Jupiter in my chart at 27 degrees of Aries. I'm hearing some lyrics, and now your chest burns and your back aches because now the years are showing up on your face, and you'll never be happy. You'll never be bold until you see the beauty in growing old. Get it together. You got to heal your body. Get it together. You got to heal your heart whatsoever. And so you believe, get it together. Get it together. And some lyrics from an India RE song called Get It Together. So I love the Epic Tarot because it's different. It's nothing that is familiar to me. And so I feel like a student. In and of ourselves, we're working on our money back because external to us are wise exploiters. Now, it's not always a person. It could be a system, a structure, a foundation of exploitation. It just can be something that wasn't what it was when you were first introduced to it. So now you've got to realize where the power dynamics lie, how to give to something. Excuse me, I need to check the time. We good, girl. We really good. I got another half hour. So in this sense, I'm hearing more lyrics. You can lie, 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 lie. You can live or you can die. You know, love is a choice you make. You can live or you can break. So we have a hidden 7 of Pentacles here. There's another 7 out. Power dynamics is what this is talking about. Power dynamics. And again, more lyrics. Dark future ahead of me. That's what they said. I'd be starving if I ate all the lies they fed because I've been redeemed from your anguish and pain. Miracle child, I'm floating on a cloud. So listen to that song. It's India Ari, Ari being spelled A-R-I-E, Ari. The name of the song is Get It Together, Let Us Continue. So there's a hidden 7 of Pentacles and an opposite of us. It's just other. It could be other people, places, things. It could be the adversary. It could also be whatever is being mirrored back. So typically that is a confrontation. It can be a conundrum, a challenge, a conflict, a crossing. It doesn't have to be, But if there was anything here that wasn't us, it would be this line here. And it's talking about wise, people who are wise at creating systems and structures where languish and lament. It can be where we're being exploited. I'm hearing the hunting fields. Okay. So literally people who pluck victims out of the collective. I don't know why that's relevant. I don't want to continue on with that. You know, in the collective, again, like I said, we've been anguished, anxiety. We've been in the dark, maybe even under attack, and now we need judgment, recognition, the ability to label experiences, give language, system structures, not just system structures, foundations, but give language. It's called knowledge base. Language structure, knowledge base. That's what I'm hearing. Language structure, knowledge base. So the first step in healing is diagnosis. It's like the first step in the program. You know, in order to solve a problem, you've got to give it a name. In order to solve a problem, you got to admit that you have it. And most of it is, it's not just love, but love is going to be the single biggest thing until June. Actually, some of y'all, I'm going to say this to you, my darling. Some of y'all until next January, until Aquarius, the beginning of Aquarius season next year, 11 months from now. But for most of us, June, July, we're going to be struggling with the concept and idea of love, like hanky-panky love. Is that Randy Thomas? I don't think so. Please don't get upset if it isn't Randy Thomas, but don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think you understand. I'm into line dancing and stuff, so that that gave me the giggles. That's cute. Yeah, so a lot of it is lamentations and anguish because there's people, places, and things, mainly soul group, some of us even intimate unions, intimate bonds, intimacy, into me, you see, which is closeness, vulnerability, connection, and warmth. That's intimacy. Whether there's like sexual intercourse or not, intimacy is closeness, vulnerability, warmth. Okay, so it's irrelevant. If something leaves my mind, it's irrelevant. I'm hearing that the established system, the large tool used to distract people is love, getting you to attach yourself to another person because there's a shadow there. And the shadow isn't the shadow of the love, the shadow of the union, the karma there. It's really that you don't see something about when you go and chase after love, basically what you're doing is reinforcing whatever conditioning and programming. And be clear on this, my dear. It's not about love. It's not about being in love. It's not about being in union. There's a healthy spiritual way to do that. Most of us don't know what it is. It's not something that's taught. It's something that's hidden. 98% of people will never even come to that. 97% of people will never even be able to do it. Okay, it's talking about there's a shadow to love here. And literally love is a prison and society is the prison warden. It's the establishment. Now, in another sense, the Lover's card can talk about the soul group, the community. It could talk about all of your friends, especially close friends. It could talk about the building you live in. It could talk about your coworkers. If you're in a bowling league or whatever, it's not the entire league, but whatever team you belong to. people that understand you. Now, also it could be choices, because we do have the King of Swords here, which is discernment, but literally it's saying that we've been anguished by people, places, and things, lovers, people that we're trying to love on, whether we're trying to, exchange body fluids with them or exchange ideas with them. There's been this consistent, established is the word, structure of abuse. And now we're summoning resources from the universe to go on and move forward. The sword of fails, clutched in the grasp of thoughts that hold you prisoner, using the same logic and premises that bound you will only tighten the grasp. The sword is not the right one for its purpose. So we have to do something completely different. We can't look to pre-established whatever. Whatever I told you already, it's true. They're telling me to move on. Because in and of ourselves, we're looking to get to higher ground. But firstly, we've got to understand what it is that we're fighting. And we'll come to realize what we're fighting is just not feeling like we're enough. We're fighting this lamentation, really. The book of controls. Ideals and projects can take on a life of their own, becoming like monsters instead of inspiring us. They terrorize and control. Do not let ideas, however good, become your God. This is the 9 of Wands. Now, if you see down here, there's all these stairs and things like that, and there's a whole like courtyard or square or whatever. So there's one more thing I want to read you. This is the 7 of Swords in this deck. It's very interesting. There's a person down there. The secret sword. Things are not always what they seem. An expected weapon can defeat an insurmountable enemy. Conversely, do not assume an easy victory over an apparently weak foe. So over here, we've been trying to move forward, but it's not necessarily like a chariot kind of thing, having a victory, a triumph. It's more of like completing something that's going on inside of us, because we were at times overwhelmed, emotional. We were at times confused because of whatever reasons. Now, it can be that somebody put the evil eye on us. The chalice dreamt. Despite the number of chalices in your life, sometimes space creates a need for a new chalice. Attend to the desire, spend time with it, examine it, determine the perfect chalice to fit your yearning. So like I was saying, there's some process inside of us that we're completing. And here's the new chalice. So we open the door for clarity, and what comes through is fulfillment. Because we've always had the door open, or we've always been looking for love, and it's not about love. We should be in love with ourselves. We should be in love with God first. And then the right kind of love will come, because your vibe attracts your tribe. Another thing about the Lover's card. We need to be secure in the self. And now the High Priestess came out. We need to be secure in the self. Don't break my heart, my achy, breaky heart. It shouldn't be about that. Worried about, don't play the game not to lose, play the game to win. The sphere of achievement. Your patience, finesse, and determination have been rewarded. You have not only achieved your goal, you did it in a way that pleased you. Now you get to enjoy the life you have created. The sacred beggar. The world and the divine react to your actions and intent. Become humble and ask nature and spirit to fill your bowl with the wisdom you need. It is no good to ask those who have nothing. Yeah, so we're going to places to get fed, to get filled. Remember what I said? Don't take medical advice from a mechanic. If I want what you have, I'll do what you do. You know, a lot of times our friends and family, they'll start advising us what to do without even asking us what our intentions are, number one. And number two, not taking into account the things that are relevant and valuable to us. So basically they talk at us, not with us. They talk around us, not to us. Yeah, because we really need to rest. We're burdened by the fact that we don't have fulfillment. And when we engage with others to get fulfillment, it only compounds the disharmony. We're looking for a road or an option. And see, what it is that there's mechanisms of dominion over us. And we're beginning to recognize these mechanisms and end it. Put the kibosh. I'm hearing the word kibosh. That ain't my word, y'all, but hey, I'm hearing it. I don't use that in my vernacular, but it came through. I'm looking for the Eight of Swords. Reveal the Eight of Swords, please. Don't be ashamed. Okay, so the enigma of the sword. I know there's no light, so oopsie, but I'm not turning the light on. I'm just not. I need some rest. The enigma of the sword. When in a difficult situation with no apparent way out, the solution can be found in the least obvious place. Find out what is causing the pain of your attacker and heal it. Oh, so you need to know what people's motivations are. Oh, child, oh my goodness. So we also have the King and Queen of Swords out now. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, yeah. But see, that's the thing. Right now, I don't want to be healing nobody, especially if you ain't paying me. Let me tell you something. You come with me? I'm gonna help you out of my house, out of my life, out of my space, environment, frequency, vibration. I just don't give about you. Dusting time. This really feels complete because we need rest. We need recovery. We need to understand what institutions, beliefs, ideals, philosophies we can anchor into our life and what we need to purge. So, what is the message? It's not going to be in this deck, but you know, I love this deck. This is a strong message to the reader. A lot of people have no honor. It's the time and age right now. We're just in a time of charlatans and scoundrels. And see, everybody believes that they are the only means by which anything can succeed. Maybe they think that they hold the strings or the control or whatever, but everybody's being victimized. You're either a victim or a victimizer right now, unfortunately. And a lot of people playing the role of victim are truly, genuinely, they're victimizers. And a lot of people who we think are victimizers or we're taught to believe it are bad, wrong, other, they're the ones who are the victims. And see, a victim means that something was perpetrated against you, but in victimization is also surviving that trauma. And it would be honestly good not to become like an avenger. Don't resort to violence in the name of a cause or because you have some kind of feeling some kind of way. It's better to, balance the scales of justice righteously on behalf of society and oneself. And you do that through prayer. You do that through your connection with the divine. It's a fine day, people open windows, they leave their houses just for a short walk. La da 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 dee da da da. La da 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 da. La da 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 dee da da da. La da 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 da. It's going to be a fine night tonight. It's going to be a fine day tomorrow. It's going to be a fine night tonight. It's going to be a fine day tomorrow. It's a fine day. People open windows. They leave their houses just for a short walk. The lover came out. Good liberator. Artiste addict. Excuse me. I hear words said in specific accents in my head before I can put them in English. It's a French person with me. So this epic tarot is a French deck. It's people who circus performers in France, I'm being told. That's probably more relevant to me. It makes more sense to me than it does to you. And then, yeah, because, you know, the song I just sang, the French way of life, well, I'm very Parisian in my leisure, but in my nature, I'm much more Japanese. I'm like a little Japanese grandma inside. You know, I go to bed at like 8 p.m. if I can. I wake up before the sun gets up and do chores, get on my hands and knees and start scrubbing the floor kind of deal. What is this saying? Chill out, number one. Release, number two. Don't care, don't bother. If you're not in a frequency, energy, vibration where you're enjoying your life, you're going to be struggling too hard to find the solution. Get to a place where you can be okay. You know, Michael Beckwith says, one of the authors of The Secret, he has the Agape Center out in Los Angeles, California, United States, North American hemisphere. Okay, so no, that's not a hemisphere, but North American continent. So if nothing outside is going to change, what inside, if it has to change, if the outside is going to stay the same in order to be okay? Meaning sometimes the only thing you could do is go to God. Don't just sit there and understand what the enemy's needs are, because then you're playing with the enemy. It's still a game. The thing about it is not playing the game, it's the healing. So even if you are figuring out what the enemy needs from you, go and give that to yourself, or go and start selling that, not to the enemy, but for everybody else. The enemy should approach you earnestly and see, don't chase. If somebody can't come up to you and say, this is what I'm wanting, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm needing from you right now, if they're not able to do that and to do anything else, tactics, bullshit, whatever, you understand? No, no, no. And it doesn't need to be like that. That's me. Now that's all right. You don't even need to say that out loud. Just withdraw and go on to do what you do, because you need to be you. You need to do you. That's going to make it better, because there's this equilibrium. There's this need for balance, and it starts from the inside out. Don't need to go harmonize something that's already in conflict, in challenge, in a conundrum. Actually, make sure that you're in balance inside. And if you're feeling some kind of way because there's disharmony external, don't assign blame to yourself. Because we're dealing with a lot of narcissists. We may even ourselves have some narcissistic tendencies, because we need to highlight the tendency to be intimidated or corralled into a corner by other people. A lot of people use concern trolling and compassion baiting and tone policing to wrangle us into a corner, corral. We need to confront inner fears first. That's why we withdraw and work on ourselves. Because a lot of other people, they're just trying tactics. And the thing is, right now, over the next 6 months, June, July, we're going to discover all the ways that people use to control us. So in our minds, we're going to be saying a lot this year. Oh, that's what this is. Oh, that's what this has been. Okay, now I see you. Now I see this. Now I see. Now I see. So the things that are going to change the most is shapeshifters, users, and this whole concept of love. We're being liberated. We're freeing ourselves and others from outmoded beliefs. We're releasing ourselves from patterns. There's this tyranny over the public right now that has been imposed because they want to, they are empowered because of specific constraints, specific controls, specific lever that they use for leverage. And so this mistreatment or this feigning that people do, I'm getting the image of a person, when you're walking into the supermarket holding up a sign saying, I'm poor, please feed me. I'm broke, please give me. And then after being out there for 8-9 hours, they go across the street or around the corner and they jump into a Mercedes. That's the image that I'm getting. So these people are not as they seem. And we're waking up to that. We have this obsessive devotion to something that's harmful. We're compromising our integrity because we're dishonoring, diluting, diminishing, distorting, disconnecting, dejecting our own self. We need self-integrity, self-honesty first so that we can have the proper boundaries, have the inner strength. We've been allowing patterns, especially addictive or authoritarian or adversarial patterns that have control over our inner spirit. We need to stop ignoring boundaries and standards. It's a fine day, people open windows, they leave their houses just for a short walk. La da 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 dee da da da. La da 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 da. La da 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 dee la da da. La da 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 da. So another thing I'm getting is we're not leaving people, places, or things permanently. A lot of it shouldn't be about judgment. It shouldn't be about vilification, making wrong, making bad. I mean, of course, if someone is toxic and harmful, you do need to quarantine them and maybe walk away from them or get away from them. But this is about ourselves right now. So, even if we're part of the pack, we might need to have our own individual tune, frequency, energy, vibration. That wolf, I put it away. I don't want to fish it out again. That wolf archetype, because we're getting the Three of Swords. So there's some cold, harsh truth. This is the Tarot of the Erotica, by the way, part of the imagery. But we do have to hurt our own heart before our heart gets hurt by others. We need to rip the Band-Aid off, in a sense. Yeah. Four of Cups has come out twice. A lot of us are resting on our laurels here. We need to apply order to this chaos. Let me check the time right quick. Okay, I'm gonna go. It's been an honor and pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and pleasure to do so. If anything that I said, darling, resonates deeply with you, there's resources in the show notes for you. We have another message here from the Queen of Pentacles. This is Lakshmi. Lakshmi Devi. Yep, true that. Because the Empress came out. True that. Lakshmi, honey, I love you. Hi, Mama. Okay, so Lakshmi is saying, Yeah, boundaries, boundaries, but boundaries, 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 boundaries. Get up from the table when love no longer being served. Okay, yes, ma'am. Woo! Boundaries, boundaries, but boundaries, 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 boundaries. That's what I'm hearing. Boundaries, boundaries, but boundaries. I'll stop, but you get the point. Okay, boundaries, boundaries. I was feeling it, but I didn't have anything to confirm it, and then it came out on the sex set. Tarot of the erotica, because again, Nine of Swords came out twice, Four of Cups came out twice. Two of Wands came out twice. It's an adult deck, y'all. This means dominion, leverage. So you can leverage a man by his penga. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a beast. Whatever system, structure, foundation that we're living under, it's a beast. And it's about to be tamed because we're not gonna give to it. You know, the devil, a demon, it needs you to have some kind of energy. You need to give it a way in. It can't get in on its own. It's like a vampire. You need to invite it in. Okay, it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and the pleasure to do so. If anything I said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and check the resources in the show notes. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dandavat, and ashe. Arrivederci, Avidazain, moshi moshi, adios, sayonara, bye.